This family has been locked in an underground bunker for over a year because the surface appears to be taken over by monsters, but the truth is actually far more complex. A young girl named Zoe wakes up in an underground bunker, and her mother, Claire, turns on a gas lamp to see what's wrong with her. Zoe tells Claire that her doll, Olive, has had a nightmare in which the monsters called the Breathers found them. First, Claire reminds Zoe that they have a new rule in the bunker regarding not talking about the Breathers. Then, Claire assures Zoe that her father, Ray, is staying up guard like always, and they are safe from the Breathers, but Zoe is not satisfied. She says that Olive would like to go see Ray, and for the sake of calming Zoe down, Claire agrees to this. They arrive to meet Ray, and Zoe says that Olive needs a report of tonight's guard duty. Ray cheerfully plays along with this, and delivers a full report in a British accent, acting like a proper security official. Zoe then asks whether the hatch of the bunker is closed properly, and Ray tells her that she can check it herself if it would give her some peace of mind. Claire is not really in favor of letting Zoe get too close to the hatch, but Ray says that it will be fine. Zoe assures her mother that she is responsible by reciting the 4 rules that her mother has made for life in the bunker. Rule number 1, never be loud. Rule number 2, never lose control. Rule number 3, never open the hatch door. And rule number 4, never talk about the Breathers. Zoe climbs up the stairs and checks the chains keeping the hatch door closed. They appear strong. Next, Ray fixes Zoe's shoes, and she asks why she can't just walk around barefoot, to which Ray replies that they are not animals, and it is very important that they remember that. Zoe makes the argument that she's never going to go outside the bunker, to which Ray cheerfully replies that they don't need to go outside. They brought the sun in with them. Just then, Claire places the gas lamp in front of a large, reflective surface, lighting up the entire bunker. This marks the official beginning of their day. Zoe denotes the day by making a tally mark on the wall with a knife, and when she counts all the marks, she calculates that they have been in this bunker for 301 days now. Next, it's time for breakfast, and Claire goes through the supply of canned foods that they have in the bunker. She wants Zoe to have some beans because she needs to get some protein, but Zoe says she hates beans, and she wants peaches instead. Ray arrives, and being the fun dad, he sides with Zoe, much to Claire's dismay. Ray works on the water pump in the shelter because it has been giving them trouble lately, and Zoe informs her parents that someone has already eaten the peaches in the can. Claire checks the can, and sure enough, there's a hole in it. She checks the shelf and finds that at least 12 other cans have holes in them too, and the food inside has been eaten out, which is almost 2 weeks of rations. They deduce that a rat must have gotten in and done this. Zoe asks how a rat could get in when the bunker door is always tightly closed, and Claire replies that the door is not the only way in. There is also a window that acts as an air duct. Zoe asks if the Breathers can get in through there as well, and Ray replies that they are too big to fit in the duct. Claire says that they'll have to find the rat before it eats any more food, and in the meantime, they'll have to cut back their rations. Zoe is upset because their rations are already very small. Next, the entire family eats beans, and Zoe is upset that she didn't get peaches. Claire reminds her of the importance of rule number 2, never lose control, never let anger take over. Zoe complains that this is no life. She has no friends, and she can never go outside. She has nothing. Ray reminds her that they found this bunker exactly when they needed it, and it gave them food, shelter, and everything that they needed to live. Without it, they wouldn't be alive. They may be the only people left alive. So, all 301 days they have lived here are in fact 301 miracles. Even the cold, mushy beans in front of Zoe are miracles because they allow her to keep living. This changes Zoe's perspective a bit, and Ray further says that if she finishes the beans, he will take her on a little trip afterward. It is revealed that by trip he means a board game, where they randomly pick a location of their old town, and then Ray helps Zoe imagine visiting that place in great detail, pretending that she is actually there. Today, he helps her imagine being in the ice cream shop. Next, Clary discusses with Ray that she understands he is trying to keep Zoe's spirits up, but they can't keep living like this. They are running out of food, they have lost a lot of weight, and they have no idea what they'll do if Zoe gets sick. Ray says that he'll go to the surface if he has to in order to look for food, but Claire replies that they are still looking for her, Ray, and Zoe, and hence, going up there will be suicide. Ray tells Claire that she needs to change her perspective a little. This bunker is their life now. They are doing this for survival, yes, but why should that mean that they can't live a little while they're at it? This proves to be an excellent line, as Claire agrees to let him enter her bunker after this. Next, Zoe asks Claire if she thinks Ray is right, and they are the only people left. Claire shows Zoe how to use the makeshift periscope that they have in the bunker through the air duct to look outside. Zoe says that she sees nothing but the ruins of a school outside, so this must mean it's true. They are the only people left. Claire asks her if she can see the door to their shelter, and Zoe replies no. Claire says that this is because she and Ray hid the door when they first got here. She makes the point that just because you can't see something doesn't mean it's not there. Hence, just because they can't see other people doesn't necessarily mean they aren't there. They could just be hidden like them, because the breathers are hunting them as well. Zoe asks why the breathers hate them so much, and Claire replies that they don't hate them. They are just different, and that makes them as afraid of this family as they are of the breathers. Just then, Zoe spots the rat. Ray arrives and says that he will kill the rat, but his attempt to do so fails, as his knife gets stuck in a piece of wood, and the rat runs away. Claire manages to kill the rat, but during the commotion the gas lamp falls and breaks. The lamp explodes and sets the wooden table on fire. Ray tries to get some water, but the pump starts malfunctioning again. By the time they manage to put the fire out, the entire table has turned into ashes. Afterward, the parents find Zoe curled up under her bed because she is scared. They tell her the fire is out and everything will be okay, but she says it won't be, because the smoke is going to go out the air duct and the breathers are going to see it. The parents realize she is right. In a flashback, much healthier-looking Claire and Ray are preparing for Zoe's playdate with the neighbor boy, Joey Neary, when it is revealed that Joey's parents appear to be leaving in an emergency. Claire and Ray try to ask their neighbors what's going on, but in a rush, they don't answer. Joey says that a government man came and told them about a virus that makes people bad. Claire and Ray notice that the entire town is rushing to evacuate. In the present, Ray says that the smoke will disappear in a little while, so even if the breathers see it and come, they won't be able to find the bunker, which is hidden. Claire points out that there is also ash flying outside, which will settle on the ground, revealing their location. They decide that the only solution is to go outside and clean the ash up. The two parents prepare to go out, and Claire makes Zoe promise that if she hears anyone but them, she is to lock the door tightly. Zoe isn't happy with this idea, but she agrees. As the parents clean up outside, Zoe watches them through the periscope. She notices something moving in the woods behind them and panics. She calls out to them, but her voice doesn't reach, so she decides to step outside to warn them. It is revealed that what was moving in the woods was just some deer, but Claire notices that the deer look like they are running from something. The family quickly gets back inside the bunker, but as Ray closes the door, he hears footsteps above them. A single breather is walking on the surface. Zoe starts panicking and crying, and Claire reminds her about rule number 1, that they can't be loud. Zoe has a hard time controlling herself, so Ray helps her imagine that she is back in her bed at their old home to calm her down. When it finally looks like the breather is going away, the string of Zoe's doll gets caught in a screw, and the doll speaks loudly, giving away their location to the breather. The breather starts breaking the door of the bunker open, and while Claire tries to hold the door closed, Ray looks for a rod to wedge in it and prevent it from opening. The breather manages to open the door a little bit, and Claire sees a set of yellow eyes in the dark before Ray shows up, fights the breather off, and closes the door. Claire reminds Ray of Rule 2 again, and he calms down. In a flashback, Claire, Ray, and Zoe are heading out of town in a car to avoid catching the virus when they learn that their entire town has been quarantined by the CDC, and people have been told to go back into their homes. They notice the cliff close to their car shaking. In the present, more breathers arrive and manage to break into the bunker. Claire lights a fire to keep them back, while she and Zoe escape out of the air duct. Ray tries to get out of the duct too, but he is too broad for it. He breaks his own shoulder to be able to get out, but it's too late. The breathers grab his feet and bring him back down. They kill him while Claire and Zoe watch. Zoe is devastated, but Claire says they cannot stay, and they start running. They arrive back at the highway where they were told about the quarantine in the flashback. As they are running, a helicopter arrives and spots them. It shoots out a net and captures Claire and Zoe, and finally, the breathers arrive. The breathers are revealed to be military personnel wearing specialized suits and breathing through specialized masks. They take out some needles and take some of Claire's and Zoe's blood. In the flashback, it is revealed that the cliff was shaking due to approaching fighter jets. Claire wonders what the CDC needs fighter jets for, and in front of their eyes, the jets bomb the entire town to ashes. Panicking, everyone on the bridge makes a run for it, and Claire remembers that there is a fallout shelter behind the local school. Claire, Ray, and Zoe survive the bombing by entering the shelter. Ray thinks that all this is some kind of terrible misunderstanding, but Claire gets a cut and notices that her blood has turned black. This means that the virus became airborne, and they are all now infected. This is why the military bombed the entire town. In the present, the breathers prepare to execute Claire and Zoe, and Claire's protective instinct for Zoe pushes her to anger. It is revealed that strong emotions like anger are what activate the virus's worst symptoms, which is why Claire made rule number 2 of never losing control. Claire is about to turn into a rage-filled monster when Ray appears from behind the breathers, already in that state. Ray displays feats of amazing strength and agility, ruthlessly killing several of the breathers before getting shot multiple times in the chest. During the commotion, Claire and Zoe escape, and the breathers start looking for them. While Zoe hides in a car, Berserker mode, Claire attacks and kills several breathers before getting shot in the leg. Claire is about to be shot in the head when Berserker mode Zoe comes out of the car and attacks the breather. She tears off his mask and is about to kill him when Claire asks her to stop. In her rage, Zoe almost kills Claire, but Claire manages to calm her down and bring her back to normal. They decide to leave the breather who is now infected so that he can see what it's like to live with the virus. Claire and Zoe find Ray on his last breaths and say their goodbyes to him while crying. Ray tells Zoe that she can always find him by closing her eyes like she does when they imagine going places. Next, Claire and Zoe spend the night hiding from the helicopters in a sewer. The next morning, they see someone coming toward them, and they panic, but it is revealed to be Joey Neary, the neighbor boy. He takes them to an underground sewer, where just like them, many other residents of the town have managed to survive for the past year. As they are entering the sewer, Zoe sees the sunlight and says that this means they have survived 302 days now. Claire reminds her that it's not 302 days, but 302 miracles, like Ray said. She has finally managed to change her perspective and become more optimistic like Ray was. She sees the sunlight before closing the sewer door as her eyes become bloodshot from the virus. The end. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like our channel and subscribe if you enjoy content like this. Also, let us know what movie you would love us to recap for you.